Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. I've just come back from A&A Resort Hotel in Aoshima Beach. I watched the Man United match on the beach. It was an amazing experience. We've just trounced Man United 3-0. Probably should have been 2-0, right? One offside goal. However, who am I to complain? It was a battle of the bolds and ours was the boldest. He's the shiniest and the most diviniest. That's not even a word. Let's get into it. So Man United actually played fairly well. Rashford looked very, very sharp. They had a lot of opportunities at the edge of Liverpool's area. But one thing I really enjoyed was composure. When the opposition are breaking down your doors right at the battle gates, everyone kept their nerve and kept their calm. But saying that, we had to rely on our keepers, Quansah, Kelleher and Jaros. Especially Jaros showed a lot of composure, especially with his short ball game. His distribution from the back is something to behold. A very talented kid. I think we're very well stocked with Alisson Becker, Quansah, Kelleher, Jaros as our choices. And even Pitaluga, I think, has a high ceiling. He'll grow into his body eventually. So we're well stocked in the goalkeeping department. And we kept another clean sheet, and that's always something positive. I mean, really, even Arsenal only scored a scruffy goal. Loose second balls from a set piece for Havertz to knock in. Apart from that, we haven't really conceded from open play. Real Betis, Man United, Arsenal. It was a good batch of pre-season games. And what's very encouraging, our defensive shape looks very compact and very solid. And there's just a little bit of gamesmanship in ball control and seeing the game out and dominating play with the ball. Arne Slot's system has a huge emphasis on dominating the ball, keeping the ball, retaining the ball and using the ball to create goal-scoring opportunities. When we pass on the back, we encourage the opposition, the Man United players, to close us down, to create those gaps, to create those openings. Now, it's not for the faint-hearted. You have to be brave, you have to have conviction, and you have to know what you need to do, the lines and passages of play. But that is the way you create your openings, through controversy, through conflict, through the opposition pressing you and coming within a whisker of getting the ball. They leave themselves vulnerable and open with space in and behind them. And even if the players close that space, then there's space further afield. And you have to imagine when Quansah and Van Dijk especially, and Alisson Becker, invite the press on them, they'll pick out the players in the half spaces, in and behind the initial press, and then we play from there. Konate didn't look the most sharp and gave away a few cheap balls, and Curtis Jones held onto the ball too long and gave away a few cheap balls as well. But the good thing about Curtis Jones is that he's not shy of confidence. He'll keep plucking away, he'll keep demanding the ball, and he'll keep getting his foot on the ball, but he really needs to release the ball just that tad bit early and play the easy ball sometimes. MC Harvey, big man Harvey, main character Harvey Elliott, he hasn't missed a step all pre-season. He looks like our dominant number 10 player, always willing to get on the ball, making something happen. And Fabio Carvalho is on a bit of a goal-scoring run, right? He really is very good at that incisive cut inside. Fernando Torres had the same cut inside, shift one way, and then cut it 90 degrees on a perpendicular angle to fashion yourself a goal-scoring opportunity. He really looks sharp and incisive in those key moments, and he has the composure to really turn cause and effect into a goal-scoring metric. He's now done it twice against big opposition, Arsenal and Man United. He has a place as a playmaking left winger, cutting inside and joining in the play as well. Composure, clinical finishing, using the left foot as well. I'm seeing a lot of good things from Fabio Carvalho. Him, Lucho Diaz, Cody Gakpo will be a very interesting combination on the left if Anthony Gordon doesn't come. But Anthony Gordon can play on the right-hand side as well. Don't forget he played there for Everton. So that might be a transfer that goes down to deadline day and they won't want to lose him for free. So if he doesn't sign a new deal, then Liverpool, over to you, my friends. Richard Hughes, bring the boy home. But if he does sign a new contract, that's probably done and dusted. He probably won't be leaving Newcastle anytime soon. So the fact that we can already see Arne Slot working his magic with Fabio Carvalho, right, with some of the youngsters, only puts us in good stead. Jarell Quansah, absolute titan at the back as well. He's going to be an absolute mainstay in our defence for years to come. His confidence, his charisma, he oozes class as well. And don't forget, he's come through the youth ranks as well. 16 years, he's been working on his game, working hard. He's announced himself. This is an 80 million plus player already on our books. And speaking of players on our books, RB Salzburg, obviously our old assistant manager Pep Linders wants to take Bobby Clark, a bid of around 12 million. Bobby Clark's got huge potential. Redmond TV, Steve Hall already mentioned that he is one of the talents that probably has the highest ceiling. He's a multifaceted midfielder as well, probably plays in more offensive positions. But the issue is that Liverpool have loads of midfield options in this particular season. And I'd have to imagine that he's probably competing with Gravenberch for that particular slot, right? Because McAllister, Gravenberch and Bobby Clark play between the lines. They've got a bit about them to go up and down. Gravenberch showed very assured touches. He's always had a good touch. He turns very well. He positions himself out of the press, out of danger as well. His long legs are really hard to dispossess of the ball. His off-the-ball movement was very good as well. So in this particular Arne Slot system where you go in pairings of two laterally and traversing up the pitch, I think Gravenberch will work very, very well in this system, and he looked quite effective against Man United. But then again, he always looks quite effective, unorthodox but effective, and I'm very looking forward to him kicking on and really making a name for himself. Ryan Gravenberch, he could have a breakout season this season, and that's the issue for youngsters like Bobby Clark, right? They have potential. They really need the game time to up their game. They don't just need the cups and the last 10 minutes, although that is a way to bring through youngsters as well. He would do very well at a lower place Premier League team or even the Championship. He might be too good for the Championship, and if we do sell him, we need a buyback clause because he has high potential, and he'd be a really, really suitable substitution as well because he can cover multiple roles and he's a safe pair of legs and he's got a game maturity around him, and obviously he's grew up in a football family as well. So I really think there needs to be a decision made, but he can't be sharing a minute with Gravenberch. One of them needs to be really given the opportunity to shine. And a similar case with Tyler Morton as well. Tyler Morton will probably be battling with Stefan Bajcetic for those particular minutes, with Wataru Endo at the base, with McAllister at the base, maybe a new number 6 at the base as well. But they both play hybrid 6 and 8, so they're not a pure out-and-out 6, but they're ball players, they're technical players at the 6, comfortable with the ball, getting the head up, playing through the lines, playing the ball over the top as well. But Bajcetic is probably further along in terms of the trust, of the confidence of the teammates and the coach to wheedle his way out of trouble, to get his techers on, to progress the ball. Tyler Morton is a very silky player, plays the ball really, really well, great composure, a great pivot. In fact, he's probably a better deep-lying playmaker than Stefan Bajcetic, but Bajcetic has probably got the edge on him in destroying and composure and dribbling ability. But Tyler Morton is also homegrown as well. Does Stefan Bajcetic count as homegrown? I don't know. I don't think so, because we signed him from Celta Vigo. Did he reach the criteria before a certain amount of birthday playing 3 years in the Premier League? Probably not, but I know Tyler Morton for sure is homegrown. Someone let me know in comments below. Stefan Bajcetic homegrown? Maybe for one competition, but maybe not the other competition. I forget which one. And also, that away kit looks sharp. Simplistic, basic, true to form. Turquoise is my favourite colour. On the black trim, with that embedding on it. I like that away kit. I'll probably get that away kit before the home kit. And it's great to see Trey and Yoni as one of the first substitutes that's always called on for the second half as well. And Wataru Endo gives him a platform to shine. Wataru Endo comes on with the youngsters to add that maturity, to add that calm head, to always be an option for the ball, to let the players shine. Because he did it last season, allowing Gravenberch, McAllister and Soboslai and Curtis Jones and Elliott to progress forward with him as the intelligent shadow, always holding position behind them. But also, he's always an outlet. He'll take the ball in difficult situations and distribute it with a short, simple pass to someone else to play the more flashy, prominent plays. So Troy Ignoni comes on. He has freedom of that area to roam because Wataru Endo will always hold a position as the anchor, as the pivot. And Troy Ignoni's ball out wide to Ben Doak. Ben Doak controlled it with aplomb and off he goes. He is like the Red Rockets. He is aggressive. I love the aggressive trait. He's like full of tension. He can't, Duracell bunny. He can't wait to go off a million miles an hour. He always wants to be direct, wants to make things happen. And when he loses the ball, comes sliding through to retain the ball back, play the ball off. And I think that's when that fish guy from Man United injured himself trying to dispossess Blair. And speaking of Blair, his turning is superb. He always turns into the space and off he goes. His pressing looks amazing. I think Blair might have gone ahead of Kumas in the rankings. And they're saying something considering Kumas debuted last season and scored the goal, right? In the cup. But Blair looks like a proper live wire, and I love the calmness in his face and the flair in his hair. Flair Blair with a cold mean stare to make something happen. He could be that impact player off the bench 10-15 minutes at the end of the game, a Divock Origi role. Make something happen. Go and show your footwork. We'll play you ball to feet, you turn your man and off you go. Blair has really, really impressed me this preseason. But you know what? He had these traits and attributes, and the main thing is he works hard and he really puts in defensive shift even in his final few minutes of the game. And I think that's why he's been brought on tour, because he's showing the workman-like attitude, the great work ethic, the can-do attitude alongside technical ability, and Flair Blair with the hair. Fantastic. And speaking of hair, Mo Salah with that new trim, he's like aerodynamic. He's got the speed, the intensity, the touch, the finishing, the through ball. He's on it. He's got to go straight in a fantasy football team. I need to do that video, but wow. For anyone who doubted the man, obviously Haaland goes in, right? He's a goal scoring machine. Any double week you play Haaland, you double him up as captain, you'll probably, earn 40, 50 points. But Mo Salah is on it this season. If you're picking Liverpool players for the season, Harvey Elliott may be a dark horse because he's going to play in that number 10 position. He's going to play more advanced than McAllister. Salah, Elliott, and Robertson? Is Robertson well priced? I have to take a look at that. Nunes is a very hit and miss one. Can you? It pains the heart. You want Nunes to do well, but it's one wild dark horse, right? You just don't know what you're going to get. So I don't know if I can bank on Nunes. Can my heart take it? Can my lungs take it? Oh, still suffering from that cough, man. That's why I went to the Seaside A&A Resort Hotel. The sea breeze will do me some good.
Shine in Aoshima.
A&L Hotel, look at the trees. Early bird catches the worm, surfing galore, golf resort as well. Very, very nice. Good morning, Japan, Aoshima. Aoshima Island. That is a kid's meal, my goodness. But speaking of passing from the back and the build-up play, don't we look so fluid through the midfield? The square from the back out wide into the half space, back into the centre, into number 10 position, out wide to the wing, to a player in behind, cross the goal. It's a goal all day, my goodness. It's silky, it's sexy football. It's Arne Slot style football. He is shiny, he is sexy, and we're playing with a gleam like a Mean Machine. That Mean Machine football movie, proper old school, isn't it? Do you remember Vinnie Jones, Danny Dyer, Jason Statham? What a movie. I love that movie back in the day. Good old Vinny. Proper dust up that movie. And one area of attack that Arne Slot really gets our players into is the verticals of the 6-yard box. He always tries to transition a player into that area to hit the ball across or hit the ball back. Even Watano Endo in the second half pointed, that is where Arne Slot wants me to go. I'm charging forward. I've seen the opportunity. He made his way. He got to the end of the ball and pulled it back, but no one is in that half space. If we continuously do that again and again, the opposition keeper will commit and will take someone down when we go to receive it on the half space. Nunes has the speed to get there. Gakpo has the speed to get there. Gakpo really rates his speed as well. He reckons he has the fastest in the squad, but then Curtis Jones said, nah, what about Nunes? And he's like, all right, but at least top five. Top five, fastest. It's not the same thing, but he's fast. And Conor Bradley, it's kind of his place to lose at the moment. Trent hasn't really had a pre-season, obviously his ventures out with England. And Trent is looking proper buff, proper hench by the way. But Conor Bradley bombing up and down the right wing, takes the ball comfortably on the run and really moves the ball really, really well. Conor Bradley, what a player. The epitome of your out and out, complete right back, wing back, right-sided player. And such a huge, huge asset. And the fact that we beat Man United in pre-season 3-0. Ten Hag squaring off against Arne Slot, and Arne Slot completely blasting him away. Man United had their chances, but they're not clinical. And the players aren't so much likeable. And 100 million's worth of Anthony, ineffectual. That's what you want to see. And Rashford hitting off target. And injuries are piling up as well. I don't know what happened to Wan-Bissaka at the end. Maybe just gave up at the end. Credit to Wan-Bissaka, he's a good lad. But really, Ten Hag wishes he could build up like Slot. He probably wishes he had a Liverpool squad. And with Lenny Yoro injured, it's their first choice pairing back together. The boys are back together. Lindelof and Maguire, they'll always end up back together. And don't know if they're Leacher, right? Sandro Martinez, whether he's going to stay fit for the season. But ultimately, I don't think you can hang your chances for a good season on Sancho, Rashford. Højlund's injured and he's still really to consistently make it. Consistently show it week in, week out. And they're still heavily reliant on Bruno Fernandes, right? So all in all, this preseason has been fantastic. Somehow the boys have taken to Arne Slot's way of football like a fish to water. And we haven't been conceding those cheap, sloppy goals that even last season, right? In Klopp's pre-seasons, sometimes some sloppy goals just seem to leak through. And from our mistakes, they seem to be scoring and clinical. But in this particular match, even though we dominated possession, Man United did have a lot of shots on goals. But when we had shots on goals, these were clearer goal-scoring opportunities. And we converted a larger portion of our shots on goals. And that's what I want to see. Clinical efforts. I don't want high shots and shooting metrics when we don't convert them. I'd rather get ourselves into the better positions to score the goals. So scoring 3 out of 4 is a better representation of Slot's ball than scoring 4 out of 15, for example. Because Arne Slot works the ball into the positions, into the Mazzala 10 positions on the widths to get the final 1, 2, 3 balls into the striker or into the last dummy runner to slot the ball home. You don't necessarily need to go to the first man to the second man and work your opportunity. You can be a bit more patient and rotate and roll the ball to the prominent players in the high positions and craft out a better goal scoring opportunity, because we have the caliber of player to take that extra touch, to play an extra man, to find the right opening. And that really suits players like Carvalho, Elliott, Soberstein, McAllister, and Nunes and Gakpo, Salah and Lucho Diaz and Diogo Jota will love it. And I'm already in love with Slot ball. It's going to be a great season. I think people are warming up to Arne Slot's way of football now, and him as a person, and him as a coach. And he's straight firing, straight talking as well. He'll tell you tactically, this worked, this doesn't work. I like this should be better. And it's straight to the point. It's frank, but not the bore. But it's fair, like Arne Slot's amount of hair. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash a like, helps this video get seen. I'm so happy with the Liverpool team, really exciting. Transfers coming in as well, can't wait to see it. If our only signing of the summer was Anthony Gordon, would you guys be happy? Would you guys accept it? Pending that we do keep all our players like Joe Gomez, for example, and Lucho Diaz, and maybe retain Tyler Morton and Stefan Bajcetic. Would you be happy with just Anthony Gordon? Let me know in the comments below. All interaction and comments I reply to personally, and it helped the visibility of the channel as well, so go for it. And in the members section, I've translated the hot or not Wataru Endo and Fuka Nagano. Some of the questions were a little bit iffy, they're a bit loaded as well, but the answers were really, really interesting. I translated it in the members section. Cheaper than a Tesco meal deal, so why not? Give it a go. Sign up today. Miyazaki man, Ichiban. Just back from the beach, not too tanned, because I sat in the hot spring for like an hour. Till next time, Janet means ciao.